Well, first off, kudos to Becky Hammond. I believe that she could go to any park and coach us to a championship. That's how great she is, right? So what she's saying from a statistical standpoint is absolutely right. Now, if you look at the last 40 years, you have your statistical anomalies, right? You have your Isaiah Thomas, who was backed by the bad boy Piston in that vaunted defense in the 80s, who won 2 championships. You have a Steph Curry coming in at 6'3", but he's the greatest shooter of all time, and he had the second or third greatest shooter of all time in Clay, and then for 2 of those championships, he had a 7-foot monster in Kevin Durant. So those bets are off. And then you have a super anomaly in Dwayne Wade being a 1A guy just for the NBA Finals, pretty much when he took over the entire 7-game series. Outside of that, the guys have been 6'6" and up. You look at a Jordan, you look at a Tim Duncan, a Shaquille O'Neal, a LeBron James. All the champions have pretty much been 6'6" and up as your 1A guy for you to be over the top and winning a championship. And there's a few things for this, right? When you're smaller, you tend to be majority of the time a defensive liability. Other than that, you have to have supreme athletic skills. You have an anomaly like Chris Paul, who's 6 feet tall, right, and can play defense, who made multiple all-defense teams, but he's an anomaly. Outside of that, guys who are less than 6'3", it gets tough for you on that defensive side of the ball. And if you can't get prompt stops, guys are just too good. You know what I mean? They're going to be able to score pretty much over any defense. And if you're that small or short, I should say, they're going to essentially be able to shoot over you. And if they can't shoot over you, they can drive through you, essentially. So Becky Hammond has a supreme point. For the Knicks, though, I believe that they have to get a wing who could score at all 3 levels. RJ Barrett, very good defensively, but he could very much so go cold when they need him to get a bucket, right? And sometimes Julius Randle isn't fully engaged. I believe they need a wing who could pretty much score on all 3 levels at any given point in time for the Knicks to truly be a threat and to pretty much walk down one of these big dogs that I'm saying in the Boston Celtics or Milwaukee Bucks.